Acassuso House. The residence is situated on a 297 square meters irregular corner site in the low-density residential area of Acassuso, San Isidro, on the Gran Buenos Aires North Corridor. The home is located on the longest side of the site, releasing the corner and providing access to the best orientations due to an existing swimming pool that had to be respected. The music room and services were erected in the basement due to the program's needs. In addition to the public amenities, the bottom floor has the social program, which includes the living room, dining room, and integrated kitchen. The gallery, which is connected to the house's social area, and a parking spot, which can be reached from Fernandez Spiro Street independently, are created by an overhead cantilevered volume. In addition, that volume has a study, a suite, and 2 bedrooms on the first floor. A system of movable wood blinds that, when drawn, filter the light that penetrates inside spaces, providing shade and privacy to the rooms, form the skin that shields the main facade, which faces north. Each component of this brise-soleil functions as a system of folding doors that can remain open on their own as needed by the users. The material was exposed concrete, which minimized the construction process and maintenance costs. For the formwork, we used 2x4 pine wood boards, which gave the surfaces their distinctive roughness. R. Bombay House. In the rationalist project Casa Bombay, concrete transcends aesthetics and is used to implement complex geometries that allow the house to be contained and enlarged in its surroundings. This contradiction is created by the cantilever partitions and permeates the entire facade. The user is supposed to be able to enter the house as soon as they get out of the car. A water mirror and an exposed concrete wall that frames the front door on the right and left sides of the home, respectively, greet you as you approach it. On a single floor, the full program is developed. The user enters to find a sizable social area with a completely integrated living room, dining room, and kitchen that opens up to a gallery with a grill. 2 bedrooms, their respective baths, and a 3rd bedroom/study room with street access are all located in the house's private section. Large glass surfaces and the way the windows are arranged allow for natural cross-ventilation as well as the entry of light during the day. The defining architectural feature of the home is its plinth lighting that rests flush with the floor and spreads sunshine in a natural and uniform manner. Escobar House. 54 kilometers from the city's core of Buenos Aires, in the gated community of Harris Santa Maria de Escobar, is where you'll find Escobar House. Lots in the spacious neighborhood are arranged around a golf course. The land on which Escobar House is situated is distinguished by its flat topography, its privileged rear aspect of this court, and a sizable green area facing north. The customer, a young couple, requested a weekend home that would eventually become their permanent residence. The social area, which was designed to be the focal point of the home, would be higher off the ground than the other rooms to provide a more expansive perspective of the outside landscape. It would also have a higher clearance than the other rooms. The specifications called for a master bedroom with an ensuite bathroom as well as 2 more bedrooms for the kids, who would also utilize a playroom as far away from the communal space as feasible. They asked for the living room and dining room to open into a partially covered addition that was connected to a pool. The residence should include windows that open out to the surrounding vegetation and spaces allocated specifically for meditation. We suggested building a low-maintenance home out of glass and exposed concrete. With regard to floor plan arrangement and uniqueness in terms of overall morphology, our goal was to create an architectural synthesis. It was agreed that the main platform, which houses the entryway and the social area, would serve as the project's beginning point, with the remaining rooms being arranged at half height. The rooms might be connected naturally thanks to this articulation while still maintaining their independence. The nobler rooms, which are oriented in the other direction, toward the lot's back, have privacy from the street thanks to a circulation and services corridor on the front of the house. This tunnel opens through longitudinal fissures, making it nearly blind to the outside. The front of the house is mostly closed, while the back is dynamically connected to the outside thanks to a completely translucent shell. Two parallel inverted beams that run the length of the entire home serve as the center of the supporting framework. These beams were positioned back from the closing shell at the front and the back to visually accentuate the horizontality of the volume. These structural stripes, which are positioned in accordance with the interior organization of the space, aid in arranging the social areas and semi-covered deck in the back, as well as the service corridor in the front. Additionally, we tried to project the views onto the outside foliage and the golf course in the distance by framing them into rectangles that appeared to be horizontal. In order to achieve the same goal, lines of trees were planted around the lot's edges, providing the house with more privacy from nearby homes. As per the client's request, the swimming pool was installed in the house's terrace. It was designed as a rectangular plate with 3 cantilever sides that concealed its depth and exposed a floating mirror from both the inside and the outside of the house. The water mirror reflects the sky as seen from the top of the terrace, creating a living sky portrait. We were able to create a small volume with a plane outside, inside of which the various room heights, natural light effects, and envelopes would result in a wide range of spatial circumstances. By using straightforward lines and artifice-free spaces, we intended to create a warm home that would create a deep connection with its natural surroundings. H7 House. Home 7 is a single-family house development situated in the Escobar district of northern Buenos Aires, in an area of recent urbanization. The project is compressed into a smaller perimeter to release the zero level given the intended use of the house, the constraints of urbanization, and the features of the site. The social functions of the house are articulated in the order yard, living, double height, land, lake by a succession of concrete barriers that serve as a structure and filter the continuous space that contracts and grows toward the lake. The metal volume serves as a membrane that reconstructs the perimeter of the house, shutting the private areas and creating porosity in the voids, working as a solar and visual filter towards borders. The concrete partitions support the mezzanine and metal volume. M5605 Housing. The M5606 building inquired about potential approaches to our design methodology. Based on the understanding of the categories of contextualization, between insertion and implementation, configuration, between a physical object and the system, and disposition, between what is determined and the indeterminate, the proposal acknowledges the temporal and spatial instances inherent to the project. Contextualization. M5605 is a horizontal property building with 10 usable apartments that sits on a tiny corner lot of 8.80 by 12.72 meters in the Villa Urquiza neighborhood. It is situated next to the C meter in a moderately sized residential neighborhood. There are several suggested contextual linkages, ranging from one story to enclosing the public space entirely inside the bottom floor. The same goes for the recognition of its earlier borders and the inference of potential connections and distances from its expansions. Additionally, it sensitively merges the upper setbacks to the envelope, which fosters better empathy in its surroundings. Configuration. The brick-o-brick from core block is used to create a mono-material envelope that maximizes the building's constructive potential. In this sense, it is permissible for material experimentation to take on its own complexity based on a variety of exact morphological operations, repetition, sectioning, connecting, and to explore encounters, configurations, modes of union, and fixations with the aim of creating a desired mood. Space and light are in perpetual dialogue. In order to reduce noise and control the gradients of privacy, luminosity, and opacity in relation to the external, the expansions are treated as bellows along the perimeters of the facade. Layout. The building's ground floor layout and 6 levels of height suggest a tension between form, space, and matter that is focused on the pursuit of identity. The dwelling units explore novel living configurations that enable their adaptability and contemporaneity. House at the Sea. Overview. The goal of this project was to create a contemporary, minimalist home with breathtaking sea views that is composed of concrete and glass. The house is already constructed. Site. The mansion, which is about 2,600 square meters in size, is situated on Argentina's shore. To assure unbroken views of the sea, it is placed on a platform that is somewhat elevated. Overview. The goal of this project was to create a contemporary, minimalist home with breathtaking sea views that is composed of concrete and glass. The house is already constructed. Site. The mansion, which is about 2,600 square meters in size, is situated on Argentina's shore. To assure unbroken views of the sea, it is placed on a platform that is somewhat elevated. Conditions for interior design. The home's interior should be minimalist in style, with a focus on functionality and comfort. Modern and high-quality finishes and furnishings are required. The color design ought to be neutral with blue highlights to mimic the hues of the sea. There should be relaxing seating and entertainment alternatives in the living room. The bedroom should be created to encourage relaxation and have breathtaking sea views. The bathroom fixtures and finishes should be contemporary.